All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praises to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And peace, love, and salutation to all you Akim that's pushing this truth and true sincerity. This is another installment of the Hopeful Year of Jacob's Trouble. I believe it's part 3 or 4. I'm going to get into this scripture in Revelation 11 and 13. In the same hour was there a great earthquake. All right, that great earthquake refers to the earth reeling to and fro like a drunkard in Isaiah 24 and 20. Let's get that one before we finish that one off. Isaiah 24 and verses 20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard. You know, like that drunk man who's drinking that. I won't suggest drinking this. Taka vodka. A wild Irish rose. You know, that drunkard. Or, you know, back in the day, you go to a family reunion and then, you know, Jake, man, they be having them coolers full of that 8-ball. That old English 800. All right. The earth is going to reel to and fro like an old drunk uncle, and shall be removed like a cottage, and the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again. All right. That reeling to and fro is that intercontinental ballistic missile fire from these other countries. You know, Jeremiah 50 talks about countries from the north country assembling against Babylon, roughly paraphrasing. All right, this place is gonna get hit with 200 million warheads, according to Revelation 9 and 16. All right, and we could see that coming. All right, it was all good just a week ago, last year, when Putin and Trump met in Alaska, and it was all cool. Now Trump is just being a madman. All right, I just got to say it like that. Sometimes I use code words, sometimes I don't. Number 47 is being a madman. And Master P, a.k.a. Vladimir Putin, ain't having it. He's going back to talking about the West and the United States this. All right? And it's going to turn ugly. Even the allies of Babylon the Great, all right, are going to turn against Babylon the Great. All right? The UK, it mentions that in Jeremiah 50. Revelation 11 and 13, in the same hour there was a great earthquake. Okay, this is going to be the ultimate earthquake. Not some little 5.4 hitting somewhere in Southern California. And the 10th part of the city fell. That's referring to Babylon the Great. And in the earthquake was slain of men 7,000. That's the complete number. And the remnant, the elect, were frightened and gave glory to the Most High of heaven. All right, that's that remnant that's gonna get saved. It talks about how we shall scarcely be saved. I think it's 1 Peter 4, if I'm not mistaken. Verse 14: the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe coming quickly. And we're on that third woe. We're in that time, and we're also in the time of Jacob's trouble. Now, the point of getting this precept is, and the 10th part of the city fell. Now, I got this article that I've been going to last year. drday.com, the coming, you know what, okay? Not gonna say it. You see it up here. All right, and this is the 10th part of the city. This is the 10 zones. Let's get it. All right, and they're going off with some of these scriptures, man, but they got some info in here. So let's get it. Standard federal regions. The 10 standard federal regions were established by Office of Management and Budget, Circular A-105, Standard Federal Regions, in April 1974. So before a lot of us were born, this is already established. The Lord put the spirit on Esau, Edom. Well, ever since the inception of this with Adam Weishaupt in 1776, they've been planning for this. Okay. But this enterprise is going to come to naught. All that building and planning is going to come to naught. Because they're just simply men. It says in April 1974, and required for all federal agencies In recent years, some agencies have tailored their field structures to meet program needs and facilitate interaction with local, state, and regional counterparts. The Office of Managing Budget must still approve any departures, however. Now, these are 10 zones. All right. Pick whatever state you live in. That's the 10th part of the city. All right, because Babylon the Great is divided into 10 FEMA zones. Okay. Just get a quick glance, right quick. All right, where do I live at? Number 4. All right, let's show you where number 4 is at. The southeast. The majority of the southeast. All right, that's number 4. I got some words down here. Let me see. The country is partitioned into 10 regions. The most bold black lines, I can't really see that, delineate the 10 sections, 10 regions, each having its own capital. All right. And then, even here in Georgia, all right, there's a lot of detention centers. All right. And then you got so many detention centers. That's what I want to get into. All right. Then you got Alaska. And when you go into the research, Alaska has a holding cell, FEMA zone detention center that can hold 2 million people. And you got Aloha, Hawaii. They got one. They even got them over there. Okay. So let's get this new news. And they're just holding cells everywhere. I've either seen these. I'm sure you brothers and sisters have seen these abandoned buildings in your parts of the city or your town, whatever the case may be. All right. They just got empty lots. All right. Now it says the So Icy Boys. All right. I got that term from the brother Shamaria up in Cleveland. I got to give credit to where credit is due. All right. GMS Shamaria. I met that brother when he came down here. Beautiful brother. The brother Shamaria. That's where I got that term. So Icy Boys. So I'm gonna just start using that. And Salakia, just woke up like an hour ago, but still, hey man, wake up and prophesy, man. Out here in Georgia, they got this snowstorm. Some places, it's ice on the roof, but in some other places in North Georgia, man, it's snow cap. Like literally, I could walk to the store, with no trouble. But some other places, it's probably 30 minutes north of here. It's snowing it's snowing cats and dogs out here. All right. So let's get this article. Let me find that brother's page. I got that term. So Icy Boys from. Yep, GMS Cleveland Shamaria. All right. That's where I got the term from, the brother Shamaria there in Cleveland. So Icy Boys is buying up mega warehouses across Babylon. An aerial view of detainees at the Northwest Ice Processing Center in Tacoma, Washington, ran by the notorious CEO group. So it's something that come across my mind. A lot of these corporations, they're probably buying this up. All right. And we keep telling you America is a business, man. And the next business is going to round you people up into these detention centers. All right. So the So Icy Boys, you see them, is buying up warehouses across the country to build a massive network of detention centers. Hundreds of millions of dollars have already been spent to create huge immigrant jails, often in small towns, Bloomberg reports. The agency paid $102 million for a warehouse in Hagerstown, Maryland, and $70 million in cash for a warehouse in Surprise, Arizona. All right, and I'm gonna just say this: you simple Americans, especially you so-called Black Americans who think that's not gonna happen, look up Agenda 21, and I'm gonna do a lesson on you Negroes, West Indians, and Haitians, because the next target is gonna be you Haitians. All right, the vice president, you already know, the vice president in his administration last year to slander you so-called Haitians up there in Ohio. And hey, I think I seen a brother's video. They going up there to Ohio, the deal with you Levites, you so-called Haitians, man. So Jacob's trouble is going to affect all 12 tribes, man. And I'm going to say this like I always say. You other heathens too, you Cushites, all right, you Elamites, you Ishmaelites, you Hamites, you Edomites from different countries that's here. Hey, you're going to get rounded up too. All right, you're going to be in there with Pookie and Ray Ray, wondering what the hell happened. All right, you other nations gonna get a reality check too. They really going for the tribes too, but it's gonna affect you you heathens, man. And some of y'all might be Israelite foreigners, man. So you Israelite foreigners, you need to start repenting and get with this word, man. Okay, because this place is a melting pot, man. A lot of people are here, and that's just the cost to purchase the buildings. So Icy Boys also has to pay to turn them into, you see it, with bathrooms, beds, dining, and recreation facilities. A third warehouse purchase in El Paso, Texas, could be one of the largest you-know-whats in the United States when completed, housing 8,500 beds. So Icy Boys plan to use up to 23 warehouses around the country to detain immigrants in even more cities, including Minnesota. Hey, look, man, like I said, that's the spirit. Like not like I said, like the spirit of the Lord is giving us. All right, but all that trouble going up there in Minnesota. All right, all that trouble going up there with that looks like an Amalekite that got deleted. All right, and I had a video. Yep, hey, check out this video from Elder Adama up there in Boston, man.
Hey, Shalom.
All right, check out this video. Check this out. Gray State movie actually takes place in Minnesota. All right, so go ahead and watch that. Everything is just linking up through the spirit. All that trouble up there in Minnesota. Hey, guess what they about to do? They about to round these folks up, man. All right, and then hey, the tension. Hey, you can't forget about that tension they got with them Somalians up there too. All right, so hey, we're in a time of Jacob's trouble, and some of them Somalians, man, they really Hebrew Israelites, man. Like I did my last lesson, I met this guy from Minnesota. He would say he was Somalian, but he was a straight nigga, man. All right, I could tell he was an Israelite. All right, it says Indiana. That's a racist state. That's like the Mississippi of the Midwest. I know that team just won a championship, but Indiana, man. Louisiana, they just did the swamp sweep. Me and the brother Karatazar, the officer Karatazar and the priest Amawan did a lesson about a month and a half about swamp sweep. They went down there to Louisiana and parts of Mississippi. Them So Icy Boys, Missouri, Mississippi, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. All right, so brothers in these areas, just brothers in general, man. You just gotta watch your surroundings and see what these folks doing, man. You see a bunch of black cars driving around. You see empty lots. We're in that time, man. All right, we're in that time where there's the 10th part of the city, man. All right, all these detention centers, either they've been here or they're developing more. All right, it says the new strategy is a shift for So Icy Boys and the Department of you see that right there, which has been relying on many tent camps such as the notorious Alligator Alcatraz in South Florida. And you had that picture of them Edomites taking pictures up there mocking the tribes, but yeah, you so-called white people, you're gonna be in there too. You every day, don't tread on me. I live by the Constitution, devil. They're gonna be locked up in there too, and you're gonna have your red nigga moment. All right, because Jake has been taken to the internet of what's been happening in Minnesota. And like we've been telling you, this has been happening to us. You've been getting, with this Alex dude. They said he had a gun. He didn't have a gun. All these other camera angles. They say he kicked the taillight off a car, so on and so forth. Now you so-called white people getting your nigga moment, and it's beautiful, man, because this man's world is spiraling. That's why you go to Deuteronomy 30:7. All the curses that is on us are gonna be placed on our enemies, man. So these are beautiful times that we in, man. You know, the white woman is choosing up on Jake, all right, because she sees that the so-called white man is nothing but a natural born Mo. Now, like I said, there's gonna be Israelites that look like so-called white people. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about Esau, Edom, and there's even some chocolate-covered tears. You know, you Jakes that all this melanin crap, melanin this, melanin that. All right, this ain't no melanin gospel, man, because you're gonna have Edomites that look like so-called black people, man. Look at Thomas Jefferson's great-great-grandsons. Those are chocolate-covered Edomites. All right. So continuing on, it says people who live near the proposed detention centers are pushing back against the plan, with protesters showing up in Hagerstown to protest on January 20th despite freezing temperatures. So, I mean, these people are here protesting. They probably getting data on these people. And that's probably the same people they're going to go track and throw in these detention centers, man. All right? And it's probably going to be some simple-minded Jakes, you know, trying to protest out here when we tell you that's not our fight. We're spiritual, man. We're spiritual people, man. Call on Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Cleave onto this word. That's how you fight. And they're going to lock these dummies up. They're going to gather intel on these dummies, and they're going to go head first and get them folks first. All right? Trying to tell you people the time of Jacob's trouble is coming. This ain't just for people that's from Honduras and Guatemala and Mexico and Central South America. Now they coming for you homeborn Americans, all right? Because they deem you as trouble too, all right? It says in Oklahoma City, the owners of a warehouse backed out of a deal Thursday to build a So Icy Boy facility following local backlash to the plan. And this was going to cause division, all right? People that's for So Icy Boys and there's people that's not for the So Icy Boys. People are going to be like, hold up. You're going to have Edomites. This is not fair. This is not human. You know, it's going to be all types of division, man. There's going to be all types of ideological divides here. All right? It's going to be civil war over these ideologies and these beliefs out here, and it's building up every day. We're it's like one of the elders in my camp, the elder Kabash, mentioned it. We're in martial law right now. It's just we're just doing regular stuff. You can go get a bottle of liquor. You can go to Aldi's, Little. You can go to the local farmer's market, get you some produce. You know what I'm saying? You can still go mess with Keisha, Maria. But hey, the times are gearing up where this stuff is going to slowly but surely come to an end. Curfews are going to start coming. Okay? And there's going to be tanks in the streets, man. But then again, hey, Esau has advanced technologically wise to where, hey, he might not need tanks, man. He got drones. All right? Like it says in Daniel 12, wisdom and knowledge shall increase. That technology is going to keep increasing, man. It's been said that they went down there to get Maduro with only 20 men. All right? So, it says in OKC, the owners of a warehouse backed out of a deal Thursday to build a So Icy Boy facility following the backlash to the plan. Similarly, the owners of a warehouse in Salt Lake City announced they had no plans to sell or lease the property in question to the federal government after protesters showed up at their offices. So I'm not going to read too much of that, you know, just to give you an idea. And then you can type this up for yourself. You can just type that up. You just type this up, and you know, brothers, you know, do your response lessons or do lessons, because I seen this from Salaki. I seen this lesson from Elder Karatazar out of Vegas. So hey, I just took to it as well. You know, this is part 4 of Jacob's Trouble, man. You know, so let's get a few more precepts and closing on out. All right, Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. That's these camps. Okay, these detention centers. Okay. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Do you think that's some mythological character from hell casting you into prison? No, let's get this word devil. Because IUIC still teaches hell. All right, you're going to hell. All this other madness, man. Hey, a lot of you Israelite camps, you ain't been telling. Starting from the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, they've been telling you this truth since they came into the truth, and that's younger brothers on down. You're the camps been sugarcoating this stuff. It's all about the woman. It's all about marriages. It's all about happy, joy. Hey, you members of these other camps, all right, you're gonna wake up you're gonna wake up and see what's really going on, but it's gonna be too late. Let's get this word.
Strong's G1228. Diabolos.
Prone to slander. Is that what this man does? He slanders your leaders and say, oh, they got weapons of mass destruction, and goes inside your country, steals all your resources, bombs the shit out of your country. Now it's looking like the trap house. It's looking worse than the trap house. It's uninhabitable, man. Look at Libya. Slanderous, accusing falsely. This man does that to you tribes. Like I mentioned, you so-called Haitians, they were saying you was up there in Ohio eating ducks. But this man has sex with dogs and goats. This is the devil we talking about. A calumniator, false accuser, slander, metaphor applied to a man. All right, and it ain't the Arabs for you dummies out here that's still preaching Esau's the Arabs. By opposing the cause of God, all right, here it is, the Most High gave Noah the sign of the rainbow that he wouldn't flood the earth anymore. What does this white man do? Oh, this is Pride Month. Let's make a pride flag. May be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. So this man's the devil. All right, this red man, Esau, Edom. All right, if your line goes back to Esau, Edom, you're the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, let's read that again. Revelation 2:10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. So you got to prepare your mind. Hey, we might be locked up. All right, because it's coming. If they these little empty warehouses and they locking these people up, it's gonna come. Some of us might be on the run. Some of us might be in there, but that's only for a testimony. See how about Shemal Shah to show his power. The devil shall cast some of you into prison, that you may be tried, and you shall have tribulation 10 days. That's a complete number. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So if we got to go before that guillotine, which, you know, we at the time where they're going to implement the mark of the beast, man. If you don't take it, man, then you don't get put to death. But if you don't believe in the resurrection of Yahweh Shai, and you don't believe in these miracles, then you have no hope. Because we have hope we're going to come back, even if we do have to face death, man. So let me get a precept. Isaiah 59:19. The brothers from El Paso and the brothers from Phoenix, they did a live stream yesterday, and they brought out this precept. All right, so this is comfort of the scriptures, Isaiah 59:19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord from the west. Yeah, we're on the west. And his glory from the rising of the sun, when the enemy shall come in like a flood. That's referring to Esau coming down with his troops, throwing people into these detention centers, which they got right now. The Spirit of the Lord's name is Yahweh, and the Son's name is Yahweh Shai, shall lift up a standard against him. Okay? Let's get this word standard. Doesn't it say in Matthew 19:26, with the Most High all things are possible? So that's the belief system that you have to have. And these other camps, they say we're faith-based Israelites. Damn right we're faith-based Israelites. That's the main basis of being in this truth, having faith. And this word is nawas in the Hebrew, H5126, nawas, and it goes to flee, escape, all right, to take flight, to depart, to disappear. So you brothers could very well be in this position where you're in one of these detention centers, or we could be in one of these detention centers, and then we just take flight, or we just disappear, we just teleport somewhere. The Lord just have us teleport somewhere, like these supernatural Chinese movies from back in the day, which I got to get my hands on one of them videos. All right, you just teleport. All All right, you just fly away. All right. So that's the comfort of the scriptures and the hope that we have when this man is trying to come in like a flood. The Lord's gonna lift up a standard, but you have to remain diligent and keep on doing the work. How's the Lord gonna lift up a standard and you're not doing what He expects you to do? It's like it. The scriptures say faith without works is dead. All right. So I mean that's basically it on that. I'm gonna just close it out on that. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. We just gotta continue to pray. Let's get Romans 13. Because this stuff is coming to an end, man. All right, Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time that now it is high time to wake out of sleep. All right. You got a lot of scoffers and naysayers. You might want to reconsider what you're saying. All these jokesters, all these class clowns making fun of the ministry, doing their little skits on YouTube. Hey, they about to shut YouTube down. All that money you got, it's about to go digital. You will own nothing and be happy, like Klaus Schwab said a few years ago. Ain't gonna be no kikiing and giggling in these times. So it's about time for you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans to take yourself seriously, understand what times we in, and take heed to the prophets, what they saying. Because you're not getting this from the Christian church. All right, it's a money grab. All these churches, they're in it. They're in cahoots with the government, and guess what? The government's gonna turn on these pastors. A good job for doing the devil's work. All right, they're gonna turn on them. They're gonna snake them out. Your pastor ain't gonna tell you about none of this. All you're gonna do is tell you to pray to Jesus, which is a fake God, and have faith and give him more money so he can wear his red bottoms and wear his designer clothes and drive around in a Maybach. Meanwhile, you struggling to pay rent or probably homeless right now, still going to the goddamn church, that fucking harlot house. All right, and that knowing the time that now is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation near when we believe. All right, so with that, I'm gonna say shalom.